2 minutes passed before I realized I was back to the normal world. I began to remember all that the strange girl had taught me. It felt like I knew it all along without thinking much. I smiled softly and turned to Kelvin. "Thank you for all you have done for me. You stood by me even when I could not move," I said. He smiled softly and took my hands. "Gabby, you have no idea of how special you are and how grateful I am to you for saving the life of my mother." "Thank you, Gabby," he replied. I couldn't believe how a total stranger could be this amazing towards me. We talked about a lot of things: family, friends, and life. I began to feel like a heavy weight has been lifted from my shoulder. To cut the story short, we went for numerous dates after I got discharged. I still used my powers to do great things. I was no longer ashamed of who I was. Kelvin loved me for that. Some months later, Kelvin asked me to marry him, and I accepted because he was the only one that could make me happy and comfortable. We began to make plans for our wedding. Clara was arrested and sent to jail for attempted murder. It became a scandal for Jake and his family, the shame and fear of losing their potential clients. Jake's family began to lose their assets and valuable profits from their company. Then it hit Jake that he had made a huge mistake. He came looking for me, but Kelvin kicked against him, stepping his feet anywhere close to my house. Jake didn't give up. He came to my house almost every day to apologize to me. I still had soft spot for Jake, regardless of what transpired. Early that afternoon, Kelvin and I just came back from our court wedding. My mother was so excited that I was finally off the market. Kelvin's mom was also excited because she had longed for him to get married to a decent girl here in Nigeria before moving back. We weren't done celebrating before we heard a heavy knock at the door. I rushed to get it, since it was my apartment. To my greatest surprise, Jake standing at the door looking drained and restless. "What is it?" I asked. "Please forgive me. I know I hurt you too bad, but please have a place in your heart and forgive me," he cried out. "Jake, I loved you so much. If you had realized your mistakes before now, things wouldn't have turned out like this. But you threw me away like I was a garbage and never cared," I replied. "I am so sorry, Gabby. I'm a changed man. I have changed. I will do anything and everything for you. Please forgive me," he voiced. "It's too late, Jake. I'm already married to the love of my life. He is everything I have ever imagined, and I think you should leave before he gets here," I said. I could see the disappointing look on his face. He couldn't say anything till I closed the door. My family was still having a good conversation with my husband Kelvin. I was happy. Life brought me roses when no one else thought I deserved it. Now, I and Kelvin lives in Malawi with 2 kids and my younger sister. My mother passed away a few years ago, and I still miss her. Please learn from my story, and never neglect God. The end. Thanks for following the story to the end. Share your thoughts about the story and drop any lessons you learned.